What's up, good people? It's your man Jay Ivy, and I'm here with SoundExchange. Happy 20.
Born here for a reason on a particular path. You don't need a curriculum to know that you are part of the math. Casting up delirious, but I'm so damn serious. That's why I expose my soul to
Man, to be the first winner of the Best Spoken Word Poetry album, it sounds like a dream to know that I have the opportunity to represent so many amazing poets that have come before me, that are my brothers and sisters who are doing it now, and those that have come in generations to come. I've been at this for a while, and to walk in the footsteps of those like the last poets and Gil Scott-Heron and Sonia Sanchez and so many greats, it's incredible to represent. I was told that Dr. Maya Angelou is the only other poet that have ever won a Grammy. So to know that I'm in that company is beyond humbling. I'm beyond grateful. It's an incredible feeling. It's an incredible feeling, like a dream. So the people that encouraged me to pursue my passion, it started with moms. My mother was always one who encouraged me to dream big and be great. She was the first one to tell me that I had a gift. She was my first publisher. But that came after an assignment that was given to me by my English teacher, Miss Argue, who absolutely pushed me and made me do that first show. It started with my guys who I grew up with. It started with my brothers. It started with other poets that I started to meet on the scene from college to just out in Chicago and moving around the city doing my thing there. Other artists, other comedians, just a lot of folk, a lot of great people. I had the blessing to be surrounded by a lot of great folks still to this day, and they always encouraged me, always pushed me, always told me that I was great at what I did, and cheered me on the whole way. So when you have people like that around you, you can't help but, you can't help but dig deep and want to give the world something great. So if you ain't got great people around you, man, get you some. They're needed. They're needed. So, the collabs that I've loved over the years, the person I collab with the most is Tari Teray. My wife, incredible singer, songwriter, just an incredible musician. Her ears is just out of this world, the way she writes and comes up with ideas and concepts. In addition to Tari, John Legend, who we just did a record running with, but we go back to the college dropout days. I love collabing with him. His voice is just incredible. The energy he brings truly is a legend. Absolutely Kanye. Kanye, he opened up the doors and gave me an incredible opportunity by putting me on a record with him and Jay-Z. That collaboration was still a dream. It felt like I was in a movie. My brothers Cootie and Chike, we collab on the film side all the time. From Muhammad Ali to the Martin Luther King documentary to the Genius documentary. So I've had the opportunity to collab with not only amazing friends, but geniuses, just incredible creatives, incredible people who are masterful at what they do. Yeah, I think when it comes to collaboration, whether it's music or film or TV, for me the first step is listen. It always starts with listening and absorbing the concept, the idea, the direction, the feeling, the energy of the project. So even right now I'm working on something for March Madness. So that process for me is, okay, we want to do this about this, and can you bring your what you do and collab with this project. And yeah, first is, okay, that's something I rock with. Second, okay, do you have any direction? Okay, and then from there I'm really tapping in and wanting to paint that picture. So that could be film, that could be a song, that could be a commercial, that could be a campaign. So it really just it really just starts with listening, and then from there just doing what I do. Yeah. For me, being a shorty listening to hip hop, it was, man, hip hop was everything. So I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine a world without hip hop, and what I was hearing are the same records that I'm still hearing now. I'm still listening to Slick Rick the Rule. I'm still listening to Run DMC. I'm still listening to Rakim. Still listening to, man, Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince and MC Light and Queen Latifah. So these Public Enemy, NWA. So music, hip hop music, for me it was everything then and it's everything now. So even when you would hear the chatter of hip hop not making it, like, to me that didn't make sense, because every tape before CDs, every tape in my Walkman was hip hop. The first record I ever bought was with my own money, because I was stealing my brother's music. Big shout out Virgil, thank you for letting me steal all those records. But first record I ever bought with my own money was Gangstar, No More Mr. Nice Guy, with Guru and DJ Premier. So hip hop has always been a huge part of my life, my existence, my growth as an artist. Just as even then, this was before I had dreams of being an artist. This was just me moving through life, and hip hop was absolutely a soundtrack. So to see that it's made it 50 years, it only makes sense. It only makes sense. We create great music. We tell stories in a way that haven't been told, and the music is so needed and so necessary. So I'm beyond proud to be a part of this village. I'm beyond proud of hip hop, and I'm grateful and thankful for the art, because it has absolutely gotten me through all of my years on this earth. I have a poem that I live by. There've been so many records that have moved me. Like Rakim, moved the crowd, and Children's Story. But I have a poem called Dream Big, and to me, it just really epitomizes everything that I strive to be and become. It just in life, and it's a 2-minute poem, but should I do the poem? We can cut this too, right? All right. But it goes: true life may seem at an all-time low. You tried everything, but you can't seem to find your flow. So success comes slow and problems tend to grow. You seen your friends shine like it's 100 degrees while you chilling at 10 below. It's cold out here, it's freezing. The bad times are increasing. Bad energy is all that your surroundings are releasing, so misery's been feasting on your soul. Vices grab hold and lows get heavy. You feel so heavy, but you can't block your blessings. When they come your way, you gotta be ready to receive. You gotta shake off the fear and believe, because at times we're tested to see how strong we really are, how far we really go. There's an army growing, but you can't join unless you know what you're fighting for. Because if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything, so stand tall. Know that you can't walk until you crawl. You can't run until you walk. You can't fly without a running start, so pump your arms when you come off the blocks, and it won't do you no harm to come off your block. Get out and see the world, because everyone has their own mountaintop. It wasn't promised to a few, but promised to those who knew. So climb the way you breathe and never stop. Inhale your best, exhale the BS. Keep on keeping on. See where you're going and work on getting there. Don't hate on others when others get theirs, because you go get yours. You go knock down your own doors. Know that God go take care of you and yours. That's why miracles happen out of the blue. So know that, and remember that can't nobody stop you but you, because dreams don't come true. They are true. So dream big. Then after that, dream even bigger. So big that Martin and Coretta are up in heaven holding hands, smiling down on us with a tear in their eye and joy in their heart, saying amen, amen, amen. Amen. Thank you.
Let me get, last about.
Start to bottom. I be messing up some of the words still, but man, and I don't know if it's because I'm from the crib, but I used to love her. That's my, Common, my all-time favorite MC, and I used to love her, man. Like that record is, I mean, that just says it all. Like when you think about hip hop, you think about the joy, you think about that relationship you have with it, and for him to put it and make hip hop this woman, this relationship. I mean, that's my joint. That's my joint there. I used to love her. I met this shorty when I was 10 years old, and what I love most, she had so much soul. I was just a shorty, but see, I'm messing up already, but love you, Common. So advice that I would give to myself in my 20s, this is advice I would give anybody, that I give everybody, is just keep going, just keep going. Me specifically, I would tell my younger self to not beat myself up, to be patient, to not stress, because the stress, it takes away from the joy, and the journey is all about enjoying every single moment as much as you can, at least. I mean, we got to be realistic. Things happen, they don't feel good, but just try and enjoy the moments. There were a lot of big moments that I had, that, like Def Poetry. I remember doing the first season of Def Poetry, and I was so nervous. I was a wreck. And next thing I know, I'm back on the plane heading home, and I'm like, damn, I ain't even have fun, because I let the weight of it all supersede the joy of it all. So I would just remind myself to have fun. Like no moment is too big. To know that your gift will make room always. Again, keep going, stay positive, treat people good, and dream very, very big. Dream very big. I think sometimes we get caught up in what is possible. I would just remind my younger self, like there's a blueprint of possibilities. And your job as an artist, as a creative, as a poet, is to continue to sketch that blueprint. Like the pen is in your hand. You have the power to create it and build it however you want it to be built out. So do that, do it freely, because you have to be fearless when you're creating. You have to be so fearless, so do it freely, fearlessly, and and again, just have fun, and make history. It's been something in me. I always wanted to make history. I don't know why that is. I always felt like it was on me to do that. So 20 years later, to see historic moments happen, and even look back 20 years ago, like we had historic moments then. Never Let Me Down, that was a historic moment. Def Poetry was a historic moment. Giving John Stevens the name John Legend, that was a historic moment. And so I would just remind myself, just be conscious, be present, just be present, and don't get taken out of yourself or take things too serious where you don't enjoy the moment. So Never Let Me Down, the record. So the night that I recorded Never Let Me Down, Kanye, he just kept playing it over and over again. We were in LA at Record Plant, Record Plant in Hollywood. So he just kept playing the record over and over again, and he was like, man, you heard this singer named John Stevens? I was like, yeah, I've been hearing about in New York. So he's like, let me play you this record. So he plays this record. The record is beautiful. It sounded like some Marvin Gaye or Smokey Robinson or something. Like, this is incredible. So an hour later, John Stevens comes in the studio. I didn't even know he was there. So I'm thinking he in New York or something. So I'm surprised. I'm like, oh, what's up, man? I was like, I'm Jay Ivy. I'm a poet from Chicago. I heard your music. I was like, it sounded amazing. It sounded like that music from the old school. It sounded like that music my folks used to listen to back in the day. I was like, dog, you sound like one of the legends. I was like, you a legend, you a legend. Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to call you from now on. I'm going to call you the legend. So I started calling him John the Legend, John Legend, John Legend. But it's just me and him talking. So then a couple of days later, we're still in Record Plant. We're in the lounge of the studio. It's like 10, 12 of us in the lounge. Tari, Kanye, Cootie, a couple other folks. Then in walks John Stevens, who's signed to Kanye as John Stevens. He got a record out as John Stevens. He's been John Stevens his whole life. So he walk in, everybody shouting him out, John Stevens in the house, John Stevens in the building, what up, John Stevens? I was like, John Legend. And everybody looked at me, looked back at me, oh man, that's it, oh, that's it. And Kanye was the main one, you John Legend from now on, that's it, that's your name. So that's how he got it.
Yeah. Did you rename us today?
Let me see what I got, But it was literally, yeah, it was just one of those things, like right place, right time.
It's such a perfect, so you just felt it.
Yeah, and like I got this habit of nicknaming folks. I just didn't know that one would stick like that and become this huge thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's funny is I didn't know. I had no idea that poetry and spoken word would be my life path. It was a homework assignment that turned into my teacher making me do this show. And then from there, it was just like one show led to the next. It was this feeling, like that first show, my life literally changed though. It was the first time that I felt seen and heard, and I was that kid who had low self-esteem and lacked confidence. And my teacher, her name is Miss Argue, yeah. So she made me do this show. So on that stage, I was terrified on that stage, performing, like to be the shy kid to now I'm in front of a room full of 100 kids, and I'm performing and it's just me and all eyes on me. It was terrifying. But then when I got through it, I was just happy I remembered all the words. But then seeing everyone stand up, clap for me, I was like, oh my God, like it was like that light went off, that lightning bolt hit me. And I'm like, Ms. Argy, when's the next show? Like, when's the next show? So it went from just discovering that feeling, realizing that, oh, this is something that I'm good at, when I didn't know I was good at anything. And it was like one thing literally led to the next, one show to the next, one poem to the next poem, to now I'm sharing and now I'm starting to move around with it and was just getting love along the way. So it was just this natural progression of oh, this is who I am. And what I learned is when you don't know, when you're looking, when you're finding yourself, you know, we all have this divine purpose, but when you're young, it's hard to, you may not even realize that, you know, you're kind of like, why am I here? And what I learned is like instincts are the seeds of our purpose. So we have moments, we have signs, there are things that are happening, and something just kind of pull at you and tug at you to say, move this way, go talk to this person, why don't you go over there, why don't you write this down, why don't you share this? And it's like your instinct, you're really just being guided by your instinct. So instincts are the seeds of your purpose, and then you start following those signs, and then slowly but surely that, you know, those seeds start to grow and flourish, and the next thing you know, you're like, oh, this is my purpose. This is why I'm here. Okay, let me do more of this because I have enough evidence to support these feelings that I've had. So let me continue to pour into this and see what happens. If this is happening now, what's going to happen in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? What's going to happen if I just keep going? And so for like, especially like young artists, not even just young, because I think it's, you know, we all have gifts, and I think oftentimes, you know, we talk about classism and colorism and these different things, but ageism is a real thing too, and you can't put age on art. You know, we tend to say, oh, this young artist, what about that artist might be 50, 60, 80 years old. They got something to say too. They got the most to say. They done lived the most, got the most experience, but we tend to like, oh no, they old. But when you look at art on the wall, you say, oh, man, I wonder how old they are. You know, ain't nobody doing that. But we do it when it comes to, you know, somebody who has a microphone, when it shouldn't be that way. So for anybody, young, old, whatever age, I think it's just a matter of being true to yourself, true to your purpose, that feeling that just keep poking at you. You need to listen to that feeling. Like, you're not getting that feeling for no reason. And I know for me, it was like poetry just kept poking at me. And I'm like, why? Okay, let me write this down. Okay, let me get on this. As scared as I am to stand in this space of vulnerability. Let me go and get on this stage and perform this. And then when I do, the reward, the feedback, the love that you get back from it is just incredible. It's incredible. So let me continue to move on this path. Let me continue to follow the signs, listen to my instinct, my God sense, and move on this path. So anybody of any age, whatever is tugging at you, poking at you, whatever feeling that you just can't ignore or deny, just continue to pay attention to that feeling and nurture it, nurture it and feed into it, and you'll be amazed at what is returned. Yeah, sometimes I think sometimes those instincts can be loud, but it's just a matter of, do we ignore it or not? Like, I think when it hits you, be like, but some people are like, nah. Yeah. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's doubt, maybe it's just that uncertainty that just moves you away from it. But other times you do need to be quiet, like just quiet all the noise and just center yourself and listen. But there were so many moments. I wish I could think of some good examples. I remember this one time. It's 2 times. I'll give you 2 quick ones. One, I had this poem called Wings, and I'm gonna perform it tonight. But I had this poem called Wings, and I'm like 19, 20, and this at the time it was just the love of the art, the sport of it. Just, oh man, I got this dope poem. Let me go rock it. But then I was invited, a group of us from, I went to Trinity United Church on the south side of Chicago, and they invited a group of us to go and perform at a rehabilitation center for recovering alcoholics and drug addicts. So they had singers go, and the praise dancers, and me to do the poetry. So go over there, and usually when I go to perform, everybody's open and receiving. They looking for the show. Okay, all right, man, what you got? This was, everybody in there was hurt and was going through it. And I really didn't know what to do. I'm like, oh, I've never been in a space like this. So at the last minute, I'm like, I'm gonna do Wings. So I performed this poem, Wings. And then after the show, this lady, she pulled me to the side, and she said she was one of the folks that was receiving help. And she told me that she had lost, it was 3 men that she lost in her life. I forget the order, but it was like her father in January, husband in February, and son in March. It was like 3 significant men back to back to back. And that because of it, she couldn't take it. She was in this space getting help. And she told me, she said after hearing your poem, she was like, that's the first time since their passing that I felt peace. So for me, 19, 20 years old, not all the experience in the world, but I can't help but pay attention to that. I can't help but say, oh wait, this is bigger than me. This is, I was old enough to understand that, okay, that this lady was hurting and this helped her. So if I can help her, who else can I help? So that, for me, that was one of those signs, like, okay, like you have something special, like keep going. I mean, it's a blessing. I know, like I meet people all the time. They're like, what you do? I'm like, I'm a poet. Oh, okay, that's great. So what you do? I'm like, I'm a poet. They're like, oh yeah, no, I get that, but what you do to make money? I'm like, I write poetry, but I know that sounds odd. I know that's not an average thing that you may hear day to day. You'll hear about all these different career paths, but poetry isn't one that you hear all the time. So to be able to say that and to stand in this space and have historic moments, be able to win a Grammy and help create a new category and all these things is just amazing to me. And to me, like, I want to use it as an example for others. Like, look, if I was able to do this with just some thoughts, that came to me, some ideas, some stories that came to me throughout the years. If I was able to do this with what I have, just imagine what you can do. So yeah, I love it. It's a blessing. I thank God for it. I'm like, I always wonder, like, how do you choose, like, God, how do you choose who gets what gift? You know, like, I don't know, but thank you for giving me mine. You know, and I'm just grateful that I'm able to do things. I'm at City Winery right now. You know, I was like, it's like,